We have African Affairs Analyst Ademola Oshodi join us. Thank you very much for joining us on the news. This
Thank you.
quest to get more funding for humanitarian relief in Africa, do you think it is something that will actually help address the problem?
Thank you for having me. It will, of course. Any assistance towards a continent on its knees after COVID and after the crisis in Ukraine that's affected the importation of wheat. Any assistance, whether financial, whether food subsidies, would definitely help the population and alleviate the crisis that is befall the African continent. There's also issues with climate change. So there's multifaceted challenges facing the African continent. And any relief from the international community or even the international financial institutions will provide immediate relief for Africa. But there's also crisis in parts of East Africa also affected the humanitarian situation there. So intervention of the African Union specifically and the international community led by the United Nations or the Americans will make a huge difference. It's also pointed to note that the chairman of the African Development Bank, Ezewuike, has come up with a comprehensive African Agricultural Development Program. I think it's called CADDEP. And this program is also tailored to alleviate issues of humanitarian crisis in Africa, especially regarding food security. I think his program is to focus more on the crisis in Ukraine with the invasion of Russia and the Russians weaponizing the exportation or the exportation of wheat commodity, making it more scarce in the international market and affecting the most vulnerable, which again are the Africans. So the cost of wheat has gone up, and this itself is a security crisis that should be addressed immediately.
There are a lot of crises across Africa, and one wonders, where will all this money for humanitarian relief come from? And will we actually be able to raise the amount that is required for effectively affecting life positively?
The question is whether, I'm not sure we can have everything we want, but its most important thing is for us to start. The crisis in Africa has been an ongoing crisis for hundreds of years, starting from slave trade, political crisis, coups, famine, and civil war. Now we have external problems. So while COVID affected the economy, and also we have issues with the Ukraine crisis. So it's a long list of problems. So it's important we start the process by addressing it, whether with financial aid, direct intervention, but most importantly, making sure African countries build institutions, build democratic institutions, build the court system, the judiciary, build the security system, have good educational system, have strong institutions in place that can protect the rights of people and ensure people are held accountable, corrupt politicians. This itself will help the development of the state and foresaw issues of crisis, where there's meager resources. We don't want, state actors or, political politicians, squandering the money. And this would also put less pressure on the state, whereby, insurgents, the Islamic insurgents, whether in Boko Haram or around the Sahel of West Africa, when we have strong institutions that can protect the rights and make sure people are accountable, it makes development and governance much easier and foresaws crisis, reduces crisis. There will always be crisis, but this, ensuring that Africa takes care of Africa will definitely go a long way to make sure that the continent is more stable.
Well, we have to thank you very much for speaking with us, Mr. Ademola Oshodi. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.